Move on to the final part of our program where 10 innovative companies will present their technology field ideas. They're all at different stages, from early product design to commercially available and enjoying revenue. So each company will present for 5 minutes. We don't have time for on-air Q&A, but if you put Q&A, if you enter something into the Q&A, then the presenter can go look there after their presentation and comment on any question you might have asked. So our first presenter, I'm going to stop sharing my screen, is Garrett Brinker with VIA. And Garrett, you can go ahead and share your screen, and when you're ready to go, the timer will start. You can just let me know when you're ready.
All right, well, thank you, Lauren. I've tried to time this as well beforehand so I don't get cut off. So I'll try to move through this quickly. So some folks that, great to chat with you all again. Just quickly, you heard a little about this, about VIA previously, but we're the leading provider of dynamic and on-demand transit systems, where we're really working with providers of transportation to build systems that are more efficient, more convenient, and more accessible by really leveraging modern advancements in technology. And so we've built software that is powerful and flexible enough to meet a diverse number of use cases and really create mobility solutions that are especially focused around shared rides. So our platform enables partners to digitize and efficiently manage really every component of their transportation systems, from sort of our bread and butter, like on-demand transit, on-demand public transit, to help solve first mile, last mile challenges, or transit deserts, to fixed route transit to improve scheduling and efficiency, to paratransit and NEMT services, to more innovative solutions like EVs and AVs and demand management software. And then we really provide the tools needed to fully integrate those networks as well, from integrated payments and ticketing to multimodal trip planning, to really ensuring that you have access to dedicated VIA teams to continue to help optimize your network. So as I think I briefly mentioned in the panel, we currently have over 175 services in 23 countries. We provide over 2 million rides per month, and also have over 350 engineers who are focused on continually building the most advanced public mobility solutions. We have 2 partnerships models. First, software as a service, which is essentially licensing our software, our rider app, our driver app, and all of our admin and dispatch tools, while a city or public agency uses their own vehicles and drivers. And then we have transportation as a service, which is this full turnkey solution where you're getting both all of our software suite, but also we help operate the service and provide the drivers and vehicles and all of the management of that service as well. So what makes us different? First, we're the only technology mobility provider out there who is also an operator. And so that means we're using our software every day and continually learning from it. And that also means that we have a bunch of experience to be able to quickly and effectively launch and expand and adapt services all over the world. We focus on building integrated transit systems. So even if you've deployed, say, an on-demand solution, we're working really hard to ensure that that solution is integrated into the rest of your transit network, and are really building fully optimized solutions to really round out a larger transit network. And third, you're not just getting our management of operations or our software. Our success is your success, and vice versa. And we're bringing in teams of folks on an ongoing basis after launch to ensure that you have unprecedented access to data and analytics, and are continually helping you improve and optimize your service as well. So really, just to put a finer point on that, there are really 3 key benefits. And if you're focused on being a provider of innovative transit services, we've built the most advanced and integrated transit systems in the world. But our software is really tailored to you and your riders, from being able to fully customize the branding and full rider experience to having, again, unprecedented access to data. If you're focused on enhancing your transit system, you can do so by improving frequency and coverage through optimizing modes or integrating on demand. You can integrate technology to be more flexible and dynamic as compared to traditional fixed route services. You can provide more equitable outcomes to riders of different demographics or preferences or financial or physical means, and overall improve really the safety and quality of life. And finally, if you're looking to reduce costs or improve operational efficiencies, we help agencies convert underutilized fixed routes to on-demand to both save costs and improve access and ridership, or reduce congestion in the use of single occupancy vehicles by getting more people onto public transit. Last thing I'll say is, we can help you launch a service very quickly. This slide says as few as 8 weeks, but I'll note that we've even launched services in a matter of days, and even during the pandemic. And so this is really the general process that we work with you through, but it can help define your needs and get you up and launched quite quickly. So just want to say thank you for joining. Thanks to Startup Stack for putting on a great event. And if you'd like to reach out to me directly, feel free to email.
Great, thank you, Garrett. So you did well, more or less 5 minutes. So our next presenter is Simeon Gant, who you all met in the first panel. So Simeon, go ahead and share your screen. And when you're ready, I'll start the timer.
Okay, go for it. All right. So hi there. I just want to say thank you again for giving us an opportunity to share our green tech net zero mobility hub information. We are in the process of paving over a lot in Del Paso Heights. And when we are complete with that lot, we're going to take our 8 hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, Toyota Mirai donated, and we're going to have 3 Chevy Volts and an electric shuttle. And basically, we're going to reach out to our community and working with the Black Child Legacy Campaign, be able to bring folks to doctor's visits, bring them to their workspace. And the Green Tech program, which is essentially a nonprofit that teaches high school and college students about clean energy careers, environmental protection careers. But we have a really difficult time getting the students to our location. And so having a mobility hub and being able to pick up our young people and bring them to the training center in actual net zero vehicles, we're actually not just talking the talk, but we're walking the talk about how these new innovative industries can also be brought to communities of color, to low-income communities that have traditionally been left out of the new technology. So quickly, I'm going to show a video that kind of illustrates exactly what I'm talking about here. And the company Toyota just donated 8 of these Mirais to Green Tech. And the Mirais, they're not gas, they're hydrogen fuel cell. You see what I'm saying? And basically what that means is there's 0 emissions. And what Green Tech is doing, the green part of Green Tech is protecting our environment. And these regular internal combustion engine cars are putting out carbon dioxide and high levels of pollution and emissions. The hydrogen fuel cell car puts out 0 emissions.
The car uses a hydrogen fuel cell in which you pump, you put hydrogen in it, and the cell ionizes it, making it making it energy basically that the car can use to run instead of fossil fuels and gas.
So, what do you think about this car yourself?
I think that it's good, just because global warming is a problem. A lot of scientists think that pretty soon it might be unreversible. So being able to start some by simply just using a car that doesn't have no emissions is good for the environment.
Well, I would say that it's eco-friendly. It's more efficient than most of the cars that are going around. You know, all the gas hogs, you paying for the gas. You know, the pollution in the air while you're driving the cars. So this would be just like an upgrade, I would say, just to help the pollution and like the air for us, because there's a lot of global warming going on.
Okay, I think my time is up.
Thank you,
So,
Simeon.
Any support? We need continued support on there. greentecedu.org. Thank you.
Thank you. So next up is Mike Terzo with Terzo Power. So let's give Jeff a chance to make Mike a presenter. I've unmuted you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, thanks everybody for having me here today. My name is Mike Terzo, CEO of Terzo Power Systems, and we work within the on-highway and the off-highway industry. And for the on-highway sector that we work within, it's typically medium and heavy-duty trucks. So we're talking about semis, buses, utility vehicles. And in the off-highway world that we work within, it's construction, agriculture, mining, ground support, marine, so a huge varied and diverse vehicle platforms that we work across. So a little bit about myself, mechanical engineer. I founded the company in 2014. We're up here in El Dorado Hills, California. And we've spent the last 6 or 7 years with our head down in R&D developing our HydroPulse platform. And now we're about a year ago, we started our transition from research and development into commercialization. And now we're about to hit our milestone of high volume manufacturing, shipping in Q1 of next year. So sort of a little bit about where we're at. So the problem that we've been addressing is as these heavy truck platforms have started to decouple their engine, whether that's in a hybrid platform, all electric battery, fuel cell, either way, when you decouple that internal combustion engine, you now are presented with a whole host of issues, primarily around the auxiliary functions of heavy duty vehicles. There's a whole host of things that these vehicles do that passenger and light duty cars don't do. You know, there's high demand hydraulic PTOs. We're doing hydraulic tag axle steering, all kinds of functions, refuse trucks that passenger vehicles don't have to deal with. So the biggest differentiation is the power levels. And to give you an example, you know, a Tesla actually cruising down the highway at about 70 miles an hour. That takes about 25 horsepower. Some typical functions on a heavy duty vehicle can actually take 75 kilowatts, 100 horsepower or more for one function. So that there's a huge discrepancy in the power levels of these weight classes. And the light duty passenger vehicles, they're typically non-hydraulic. They have a really good mature supply chain for their electrification platforms. And when you go into the heavy duty platforms, high power, but they're actually almost all hydraulic. So there's just no high power hydraulic solutions that exist for electrified platforms. Again, electrification can be fuel cells, can be battery, can be hybrid. There's just not any solution. So we've been really working for the last 6 or 7 years to address those problems and find the solution for all these auxiliary components. And what's really cool is we can actually look at the passenger vehicle market, what they've done over the last couple decades, and we can take that as a roadmap. And that roadmap actually provides a really good look into the future of what we can expect to as far as timing and what kind of problems and solutions they've addressed in their transition from internal combustion to a very mature electrified platforms across all of these class 1 and 2 vehicles. So it's pretty cool that we have that roadmap. We can apply that to the heavy duty vehicles in the off-highway space. And that's sort of what we've done. We've really looked at it and said, here's the things that are needed for those problems I mentioned. Let's take all of those issues, combine them into one integrated solution, and that's our HydroPulse technology. And what that allows us to do is actually solve, really provide a really efficient solution that is power on demand. We reduce all of these pump losses, valve losses, other stuff, and that really lets us do the most amount of usable work into any given function for these heavy duty vehicles. And what that translates into for our customers in the heavy duty space is more battery range, fuel cell range, whatever it is, it gives them more range, which is a huge deal. So we've taken that HydroPulse solution, that better efficiency, and now we've plugged that into those problems that exist when the heavy duty platform is transitioning into this electrified architecture. And we've said, hey, this solution can solve all of these different issues. So we're sort of an enabling technology for the electrification of heavy duty vehicles in both on highway and off highway. So what that does is it actually gives us a really scalable architecture to go in and address the same issues across a whole host of vehicle platforms. It doesn't matter if it's a class 3 delivery truck, a class 6 utility work truck, a semi truck, a bus, transit bus, or then we jump right into off highway, the same issues. Fundamentally, we provide that electrohydraulic solution for all of these electrified platforms, and it's a very scalable solution.
So Mike, we're out of time. Do you have any last comments you want to make?
This is the last slide. So sort of where we're at today, a quick snapshot. We've now completed a really good supply chain, and we're now taking that solution from beta into high volume production from here in El Dorado Hills all the way to all the major automotive OEMs.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Mike. So up next, I'm excited about all the companies, but I'm particularly excited about EV Life because they started at a startup weekend that I helped organize about a year and a half ago, I think. So I'm really excited to see how far they've come since their 54 hours to start a business activity. So Kevin, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and I will turn on the timer. Yes,
okay,
we can hear you.
Thanks for the introduction, Laura. All right, my name is Kevin Favreau, co-founder of EV Life, and we're building a better way to find and finance an electric car. Sorry. The problem we're addressing sits between these two numbers, and the question we ask ourselves is why aren't more people driving electric vehicles? Many people say they want to drive them and they are excited to drive them. Very few people actually do. And so we're trying to figure out how we accelerate the adoption of electric vehicles. When we look into the problem, the reasons that we see are mostly to deal with the fact that switching to electric just isn't easy. Electric cars are different than gas cars. They require different research, different considerations for the consumer. You have to think about your home, your commute, your road trips, different things you've never had to really when you buy a gas car. And while there's thousands of dollars available in EV incentives to help reduce the cost of an electric car, they actually don't reduce the upfront cost, and they take 12 to 18 months to recoup, which means that buyers are either digging into their savings until they can recoup those incentives, or they're going to finance that, which is going to increase the cost. So on our website today at EV Life, you can explore over 50 electric vehicles that are on the market. And then you click into any of those vehicles and we give you a really personalized, contextualized overview of what that car would be like if you owned it and how that would affect your life. We have range maps for commutes and for road trips, maps where we show you public chargers in any zip code in the US. We go over how to charge at home and what the equipment is and who you're going to need to help install the equipment at home. And then we also delve really deeply into incentives. You add a couple bits of information, personalized information into the system, and we can generate a really accurate estimate of all the different incentive programs that you're eligible to receive. Now, again, those, in this case right here, you can see $9,500 on the screen. That's a lot of money, but it doesn't reduce the upfront cost. And so at EV Life, we are building what we're calling the climate loan to address this. So the climate loan is incentive-based financing with the strict purpose of lowering the monthly cost of owning. We want to change the economics of the monthly economics of owning an EV to make it comparable or better to owning a gas car. So the difference between these two loans on the left and the right is basically the $10,000 that someone is eligible to receive in this example has been put on the hood at the time of purchase, which lowers the amount of the principal that's going to be financed, which reduces the overall interest owed over the life of the loan, and also lowers the monthly payment by $183. And so how does this work? So EV Life, what we're building is this incentive underwriting engine. We're going to generate a very accurate estimate, accurate quote, and we're going to pass that data to a lending partner. That lending partner will conduct their typical auto underwriting, risk analysis, etc. And at the end, step 3, they're going to issue the climate loan. The incentives will be applied as a down payment, and those incentives are given an 18-month grace period to repay. So the person drives the car off the lot, and now EV Life steps back in, and we're going to help that person make sure that they understand all the different programs that they qualified for, all the different application processes, even help them fill out the applications and make sure they don't leave any money off the table. If the buyer does not repay the incentives portion within the grace period, the loan gets re-amortized by the lending institution, and the monthly payment goes back up as expected. And then EV Life continues to be there with the buyer until those incentives are fully repaid. So the platform that we're building has 3 main components. The incentives engine is our proprietary database which stores all the local, state, and federal incentive programs. We can track updates to those incentives, scale across the entire US. We support stacking and dependencies between all the different incentive programs. We also surface a lot of the recurring benefits of owning an EV, such as parking and carpool and toll discounts. The underwriting engine analyzes over 15 data points to give individuals accurate quotes for what they can expect to receive post-purchase. And then we send that information to the lending institution where they can structure a climate loan that incorporates those incentives. And then the applicant dashboard aims at helping the buyer make sure that they don't leave any money on the table and accelerate payback to the lending institution. We hope to offer these at every point of sale through our website, through local banks and credit unions, and at the car dealership. And earlier this month, we won a grant from the California Energy Commission to continue building this, and we hope to, in the first 6 months of next year, be offering our first 500 loans. And that's it. Thank you.
That's great, Kevin. I think, can you hear me?
Yeah.
How much was that CalSeed grant?
The CalSeed grant from the CEC was $150,000. So that just got unlocked like a week ago. And we are starting the process to figure out how to spend it starting next week.
Okay, and I understand there's a follow-up grant?
There is the follow-on round after. I don't know much about that yet, but the follow-on round, I believe, is $450,000 at the end. You go into a competition with everybody else from your cohort.
Yeah. Well, Sacramento's behind you, and we're excited about what you're doing. So,
thank you.
All right, thank you, Kevin. So next up will be Amanda with ClipperCreek. So if you want to go ahead and share your screen now, Amanda.
Yes, sorry about that. there was a large fire on the freeway that stopped us from getting into our office today.
Oh, no.
But thank you for having me, and thank you for the opportunity and your time. Again, I'm Amanda Lance. I'm the Inside Sales Manager at ClipperCreek. To give you some background on ClipperCreek, we design, manufacture, and distribute charging stations for electric vehicles. We've been in the industry over 10 years, and our owner, Jason France, has actually been in the industry since the early 90s. And he's participated in the creation and evolution of the standards for electric vehicle charging that we use today. We proudly manufacture our charging stations in Auburn, California, so we're just up the hill from Sacramento. And we're known in the industry as the gold standard for quality, reliability, and customer service. So for those who are a little unfamiliar, what is a charging station? Our product, the technical name of it is Electric Vehicle Supply Equipment, or EVSE. However, most refer to them as a charging station. Charging stations are electrical safety appliance. They allow the user to charge a vehicle safely. There's several safety features that are built into a charging station to ensure the safety of not only the user, but the vehicle and also the grid. If there is some type of fault condition that occurs when charging a vehicle, this charging station is there to stop power transfer immediately. So ClipperCreek, we are actually a market leader in residential and commercial charging station deployments. Our charging stations are installed in homes all over North America, as well as commercial locations, such as hotels, workplaces, fleet charging, and multifamily properties, to name a few. We also are a component supplier to automakers, and we provide our technology for a variety of different automaker electric vehicle programs as a tier 2 supplier. So we offer a wide variety of products. They're designed to be the safest and most innovative on the market. We offer what's called level 1, 120 volt charging, and also level 2, which is 240 volt charging options, so that we can provide our customers with a wide variety of products to fit maybe the infrastructure that they already have installed at a location or a home. Maybe they have an outlet that they want to already use, something like that. And we offer our customers with application-specific solutions. So with our various power levels and add-ons or third-party technology partner options, we have something to fit the diverse needs of customers that we see come across and provide them with best value solutions. So kind of to wrap it up, the mission for ClipperCreek is to improve the world's environment for current and future generations through the adoption of plug-in electric vehicles. We feel the adoption of electric vehicles plays a key role in reducing the world's reliance on fossil fuels and also in the fight against global warming. We hope to see exponential growth in this market, especially as more and more automakers are releasing different makes and models of electric vehicles, and they're becoming more readily available, and also a lot of the different rebates and incentives that have been becoming available to people. So over the coming years, we hope to see this market just take off, and we'll see more adoption of plug-in vehicles across the country. Thank you guys for your time. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out through the contact information on the first slide.
Sorry about that. Thank you, Amanda. That was great. And up next is JAPA with Matthew. So Matthew, you did it before I said you could. So
I mean, I'm sorry.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant you were fast. I appreciate it. So it's your turn now. So go ahead and start.
Yeah, thanks, Laura. I'll jump right into it. So everybody, we're JAPA, and if you look at these places on the screen right now, we have cities, universities, stadiums, hospitals, airports, and everything. If you add these places up together, you have all over 120 million parking spaces that are all poorly managed. Hi, my name is Matthew Magno. I'm the CEO and co-founder of JAPA, and our vision's simple. It's to solve parking everywhere and to make smart cities and smart campuses a reality. But the problem that we're solving is parking. Now, you might feel like this a lot of times, or even like this. I know I do. Now, we all know how frustrating it is to find an open parking spot these days. You can find yourself circling parking lots or city streets for 15, 20 minutes sometimes, just to find out that there's not even parking space there. But see, this is just a problem for us commuters. There's a whole end of this spectrum that we don't really think about. Parking has another problem, and that's parking management. Now, managing a parking lot today is extremely inefficient, and I'll tell you why. You still have people going around counting cars by hand, updating their inventory into old handhelds. You have parking enforcement going around chalking tires, looking for overstayed vehicles, and they have to go out every hour on the hour just to see if that vehicle's still there. And you still have manual exchanges of money just to pay for your parking. Now, why these solutions don't work is, one, there's just too much manual labor for things that should be automated today. We have amazing technology, we should be using it. Two, there's just not enough efficient parking information for the parking lot operators to make smart decisions on their whole operation. And three, it's just a waste of time for everyone. Now, this results to over 75% revenue loss for the parking lot operators. And for us drivers, we lose around 15 minutes a day looking for parking. Now, you've probably seen some things out there that help, parking management. And, there are a lot, like these gate barriers, you have the lights hanging down. But the lights hanging down, they're amazing. You go into the parking structure, it'll tell you which spaces are available, but these things are so inaccurate. Within parking, accuracy is the number one thing. You have these induction loops under the ground, and all they do is count cars, but these things are totally expensive, and especially installation is expensive too. And then you have these gate barriers, old school, outdated pretty much. Now, parking needs a new approach, and that's where we come in. Now, we've solved all these problems of parking by, one, we provide real-time vehicle tracking for our clients. We give visibility to open parking spaces for their commuters, and we give our clients new data that they never even had before. And we go granular, so it's per space analytics. And then for us drivers, we save everyone time by giving them real-time parking availability, and then we also give you the directions to the available space. Now, this is how we get the information. We put these sensors on every parking spot. Now, these sensors are amazing because there's no wires involved. They're all battery operated. They have up to a 10-year battery life, and they all are over 99% accurate. It's very small too, so it's low profile. They're all pinpoint tested, pressure tested, weather tested, so it could take up to a double-decker bus without braking, and it could sit in a pool of water and work perfectly fine. But we gather this data from every parking space. We know when a car gets there, for how long, where it's at, when they leave. So we aggregate this data, and then we put it onto two products. One, this is the JAPA's management software. Now with this, we automate the whole experience of parking from enforcement to management. We give our clients, like I said, real-time parking availability and guidance, and literally make their operation a data-driven operation. To look more closely into our software, we store the data in our system for over 3 years. So our clients are able to go back in time, see what Labor Day was like last year, and really prepare for it this year. We do wayfinding directions. We also do vehicle violations for the parking management. So they don't have to chalk tires anymore looking for overstay parking. We let them know exactly when it happens and where it happens. But we didn't forget about the drivers, and that's why we made JAPA. This is our JAPA mobile application, just a parking app. And with this, you can already see that we tell the drivers which spaces are available, which ones are taken in real time. The latency is around 6 seconds. We give you policy information, whether it's the different types of parking, the hours of operation, or the types of payment options to park there. And then we're also launching our payment feature next year, which is going to be completely contactless payments. You just park and then walk out of your car. Now, how everything works, you could see here. We detect the vehicle in real time. We send that information through radio frequency up to an antenna. After we get that data, we send it up to the cloud, run it through our parking algorithms, and disperse it onto either the mobile application or the software management, or APIs for our clients so they can use the data themselves. The value that we bring to our customers is, one, we're able to increase the revenue. We're able to redistribute their labor to more innovative places, and we just save time for everyone. It comes with a lot of other benefits. So smart parking is new. A lot of people don't know it, but we're able to allow drivers to find parking in an instant. So that means reduced traffic, which brings on reduced pollution. It has an enhanced user experience for commuters, and brings in new revenue streams for our clients, whether it's municipalities or universities or even hospitals. A lot of other cool stuff. So we launched last year in February 2019, and you can already see that we're helping large leading businesses solve their parking problems. And we have a ton more in our pipeline, from hospitals to universities to municipalities. And the clients that we have already are saying amazing stuff. SMUD just actually renewed for another 3 years a couple months ago. UC Berkeley's using it because now they're able to show commuters that there is parking, that you can find parking. You just have to go look for it now. UC Santa Barbara loves it because now they're able to use the data to notice trends and say, hey, we need more faculty parking here because we have a ton of student parking. You might have seen us on some news channels. We've won a ton of awards, from the King's Capitalize to the 2020 SAC Innovation Awards. But if you're all ready to start parking smarter and stressing less, come talk to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nancy. That was great. So up next is Sibros. I think I'm saying that right, with Mayank Sakaria. I know I got the last name right, but I don't know if I got the first name right.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, go ahead and share your screen, and feel free to correct the pronunciation of your name.
No, you got it right. So.
Oh, good, good. All right, whenever you're ready.
I'm presenting now. So first of all, I want to thank Startup SAC for giving us this opportunity. Sacramento is a very special place for me. My family is located in Folsom. I did my engineering from UC Davis, and the company, or the VC firm that backs Sibros, which is Moneta, is also based out of Sacramento. So thank you once again for this opportunity to present on Sibros. So at Sibros, we are enabling the connected vehicle ecosystem. What that means is we're creating a host of applications in the mobility space that hasn't even been enabled. And one of the examples that I always like to take is if iOS or Android didn't exist, we wouldn't have had these apps such as Uber and Lyft. And we are building that iOS and Android for the mobility space, such that applications that we can't even imagine will be enabled. And I'll cover some of the examples during my presentation. So in the mobility space, there are two major trends that are happening. One is the amount of software is increasing because of some of the features that we're starting to see in the cars, right? We're starting to see electrification. We're starting to see autonomous driving. We're starting to see a lot more connectivity, whether it's vehicle to cloud or vehicle to infrastructure. So as part of that, the amount of software in the vehicle is increasing. And secondly, because the amount of software is increasing, we're also seeing recalls. And what that means is it's ridiculous to think that even in 2020, you have to take your car, a connected car, to a dealer for getting new features or updating the vehicle to fix a bug. Similar, just imagine you would have had to take your phone to an Apple store to get your update onto the phone, right? So we're solving that problem, and we're working with 12 major customers, and that customer base is growing, and this is across the globe, to provide what we call the software updates and logging capability. The idea with logging is to be able to also then enable applications that don't exist. So for example, it's ridiculous to think that a self-driving car can park itself, but then the driver or the passenger would have to walk over to the car to pay for parking. So with Sibros's platform, you can now enable those kind of services where you're not only just collecting the data from the vehicle, but you're going beyond that. You're using that data and you're monetizing it, and you're able to provide services, automated services, where the passenger or the driver is able to pay for parking. So how are we doing that? And a little bit about the product quickly. So we have an end-to-end, both the cloud in-vehicle software stack that we provide for our customers, and it's irrespective of what platform it is. Our customers include buses, trucks, two-wheelers, auto rickshaws. So this is, we support automakers in Asia, in Europe. So we're working with different customers there. And some of the applications we are already enabling is you're driving down the street, you're low on charge for an electric vehicle, or you're low on gas. The car itself can study that data and can tell the user that this is the nearest charging station and this is where you need to navigate to be able to charge your vehicle. And that is only possible because of a platform like ours. So talking a little bit more about the background, our company is located in Folsom. We have another technology center in Silicon Valley as well. And then we have folks across the globe, like you can see here, to support different customers. We've also been recognized by several awards, prestigious awards like Forbes and Great Place to Work. So, this is a little bit about the company, and thank you again for giving us a wonderful opportunity to present today. Back to you, Laura.
Thank you. I guess I went too fast when I hit that unmute button. So it looks like DAE Tech is up next with Linghong Li. So whenever you're ready, Linghong, you can go ahead and share your screen and we can get going.
Two Linghong Li on this. I'm confused. Okay, I'm ready, Laura.
Okay, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Linghong Li, the founder of DAE Tech. DAE stands for Davis Advanced Energy Technologies. We manufacture supercapacitors and CFX batteries for electric vehicles, smart grids, and IoT systems. I think we all agree, any clean technology for clean mobility has a huge market. And everybody knows at least these three applications: electric vehicles, clean energy, and the interface between EV and grids need batteries, need good batteries. But the battery technology in the market today do not meet the demands. The demands in these two green boxes, I'm not going through because of time. The main technology, lithium-ion battery, within this red box has inherent limitations. If we really want to find a battery that meet our demands, we got to think outside this box. So at the DAE Talk, we have been developing technologies beyond that box. At the system level, we are currently trying to build up a prototype, what we call it EV 2.0 architecture. This architecture, new integrated power system, utilizes high power units, supercap, and high energy units of battery. High power means you can charge, discharge very fast and safely. High energy means you can have a long driving distance or runtime. That's at the system level. At the component level, we are manufacturing at our joint venture in China some products we developed independently. This slide shows some products. These are supercaps, cells, modules, and systems. This is a supercap energy storage system, 250 kilowatts in one cabinet. This is for power grid stabilization. We also developed with a partner a mobile charging station. We drive this charging station around to charge EVs. They don't run out of the electricity on the road. And this is the largest battery energy storage system in Tibetan region. This is 4 megawatt hour in 3 containers. The applications are wide. And next, I'd like to show 2 ideas we have. One idea is for this short transit line using supercap powered streetcar bus to connect the West Side to Sacramento. Let me show you the advantage of this technology. If we use this technology, supercap streetcar bus is fully powered by supercap. It's no power line, high safety. You can one ultra fast charging at the station at one terminal. And then at the terminal, you can install a supercap energy storage system to store energy in the night. So your ultra-fast charging would have no impact for the grid. And this is easy to scale up for wide application. That is one idea. If we do it, we really show Sacramento is a living lab, demonstrating for cutting-edge technology. We can build Sacramento as a hub. And here's another idea. Charging stations, the interface between EV and the grid. Current projects install as many charging stations as possible at the fixed locations. Locations are limited. Sometimes they have a low utilization. They have negative impact on the grid, high cost, also high fire risk. How about we build a network of supercab charging stations? We install those stations at convenient locations for drivers, parking lot in the supermarket, gas stations in the neighborhood. Then that each unit stores electricity in the night when don't have a high peak of demand. I use 100% clean energy. That'll be relatively low cost, and that'll also be a much safer, low fire risk. But to turn those two ideas into an asset that's beyond the DAE, that requires an alliance to take the lead, like CMC. So we have been trying to get support from CMC or CMC members, like Pep Motion, Smart, Regional Transit, Mike at the Terzo Powers, UC Davis, and the fantastic staff of 1 million comps like Laura, Jeff, and the Clean Tech like Thomas and Gary. I'm grateful to all of you. I'll stop from right here. And my team and I would love to talk to you. If you have any question, here's our phone number and email address. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Ling Hong. So our final presentation is from Thomas Hall with CleanStart. So Jeff, will you promote him to a presenter? Thomas, you can go ahead and share your screen. Now that is an interesting screensaver. I'm seeing double.
Oh. Hello, everyone. Hold on here. Hello, everyone. I'm Thomas Hall. This is also Thomas Hall before I got to wear punk rock shirts all the time because of COVID. And I'm the executive director of CleanStart, and we're working to build Sacramento into a clean tech hub. We're a 501c3 nonprofit, clean tech business catalyst, and we're located at Hacker Lab in Sacramento. And we're supported by sponsors, donors, and contracts. Now, CleanStart was established in 2005 after a year-long study by SMUD and the CEC. After that study identified that there needed to be a central rallying point for clean tech enthusiasts and people that wanted to build companies to connect and basically collaborate over to build this kind of beehive of information or a beehive of activity so that things would naturally kind of spill out of it. Now, at that point, we identified that we wanted to have that in order to have a self-sustaining clean tech hub, we need to have about 10,000 jobs and $5 billion in revenue in companies that were creating defendable IP. Now, what does that look like today? Here we have our clean tech map that we put out last year, and we're building another one. We're halfway to that goal. We have about 5,100 jobs in the region and 3.2 billion in revenue, about a 5x growth. And we go out there and talk and connect with all these companies. In fact, ones that don't respond, we actually end up going in door knocking so that we can learn about them. We can get them to activities, we can connect and create that beehive of activity. So right now there's over 85 companies in the 10 counties around us. We've helped point 18 companies towards that ideation stage investment. I'm going to talk a little bit about that later, and really happy with how things are going. Now, if you have a clean tech idea in Sacramento, you're like, where do you start? I mean, mobility is a very big thing here, or big topic. You've heard about companies talking about supercapacitors from DAE, Sabrina talking about basically communicating on parking from JAPA. There's also vehicle to grid, distributed energy resources, demand controls. There's all these things. Where do you start? As mentioned earlier, you know, there's a lot of resources here being in the capital, from the CEC to the CPUC, Air Resources Board, our local air district. So where do you start if you have all these things? Are you kind of a little overwhelmed? Well, we say come and start at CleanStart, where we put on regular events. This year alone, we've had 45 community events. We've had 45 blog updates, put out 60 videos. We're having regular web meetings. We've had 37 of them since the whole COVID thing kind of started, with over 800 people attending. Next month, we'll have an investor pitch night. I believe there's going to be a couple companies from here tonight that'll be there. We have regular clean tech meetups, basically getting as many people together as they can to just watch something happen. We also want to get these companies investment ready. And what investment ready means is, like, do you understand how your technology fits into the clean tech landscape? Jaime from their resources board shared about the millions the Air District is investing on transit in communities, but how does your technology really fit into that? What business model are you using? There's a lot of specialized industries here. If you're dealing with SMUD really cares about what its ratepayers think and how its ratepayers feel. So while SMUD might be investing in you, you also have to make sure that you're supporting their ratepayers. And in this, there's basically this clean tech ecosystem that has been built in the entire state that includes the California testbed, CalSeed, and things like Empower Innovation. And we really help companies basically understand how to utilize those and go after those. EV Life, you just heard, who was part of our accelerator cohort earlier this year, or a year or so ago. They just got a CalSeed award. Congratulations to them. So did Waterhound Futures. But more and more we're seeing, when people are going after this funding, there's one tiebreaker. There's a lot more investment with EGS. BlackRock, the investment group, not the Burning Man organization, with over $7 trillion under management, has adapted ESG metrics, environmental governance and social. But additionally, the tiebreaker is being more and more social equity. Are you connecting with the community? Are you building something that benefits the people around there? And how big is that impact? It's not a whole lot of points, but it is the tiebreaker. So if you're trying to figure out where to start on clean tech in Sacramento, start with CleanStart. And with that, I want to recognize the network that we have supporting us, and also thank the SMUD, the City of Sacramento, Startup Sac, and Laura and Jeff for helping us putting this on and inviting us here. Please reach out to me, thomas@cleanstart.org. And that's good. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas. And I have posted a link to CleanStart in the chat, both the cleanstart.org, and then also somebody was asking about the company map, and so I put a link to the company map as well.
Thank you.
That is our last presentation for today. I'm just amazed at how much innovation is happening in future mobility. Let's all get a hand to our presenting companies. Woo, woo, woo.